Hello everyone, Joshua Hayes at bigwavetrading.com. This is a video lesson following Wednesday's session, but I'm going to go ahead and forego a video on after Thursday's session due to the 4th of July holiday weekend. So unless anything amazing happens tomorrow, this is going to be the weekend video lesson. And it's probably better to have it today because after today, I'm seeing a slight subtle shift in the market. I would think that we would have rallied every day into the 4th of July holiday, and it's possible that we could rally tomorrow, but I'm seeing some subtle shifts underneath the surface that have me thinking that midterm seasonality, that summertime um, lethargic price action could be upon us whenever I look at the memory and NeoCloud names today that look like they might be starting to roll over with an already rolling over optics group. So first off, let's look at the QQQ. Now this is the index that we want to see lead. We could use the comp Q also, but we're just going to use the QQQ for this chart here. You will notice on the daily time frame we are well above the zero line. Hey, that's great. This is the sweet spot though, obviously. When you're stair stepping higher above the zero line, that's when you can take more risk. When you're stair stepping below, yeah, we're still looking for setups. We can still make money. I mean, we only had one long position yesterday. It was up 8% today, Wendy's. And that's because we're using a chart plus reasons. 30% short float, new CFO, and Wall Street bet retail crowd. All of that combined with a nice chart since that EP quote quote event, yeah, it's a good long position. Also long BLZE, also long stocks like GH. So it's not like we're long things that aren't working overall everywhere. But the names that everybody is right now paying attention to and wants to see lead in the semiconductor space, those have been lagging since this top, local top here back in June. And since then, you can see that we have the tickets indicator above the zero line, but stair stepping down. So when it's stair stepping down, for me to re-engage with conviction, size, authority, confidence, normally I want to see on the hourly time frame now over here, us stair stepping up at least, but you'll notice we're below the zero line, so nothing is giving us the 100% all clear. Then we kind of top out under the zero line on this indicator and start to roll over. Now, whenever I get even more granular on a time frame I don't look at as often, the 15-minute, when we look at what happened today, the 15-minute has now re-rolled back over the zero line and it's looking weak. So we combine that 15-minute weakness with this hourly below the zero line, with this moving lower above the zero line, and we can see we're not completely lined up. So if we look at the current short-term leading index right now, which is the IWM, we can see on the daily time frame, we still look good, but on the hourly, we're not gaining any real momentum, even though we are above the zero line. Everything still looks good here. Doesn't look great, but it still looks good. Hence why we are still getting long medical stocks, regional banks. But if you notice on the 15-minute chart, that too has rolled over below the zero line. And just to let you know what it looks like when everything would line up, when it's really great, you could have loaded the boat. I remember, guys, I live on Maui. I cannot be around all day if I want to live a normal life. So I get to the market right around noontime Eastern Standard Time. So I don't do the taking the trades in the morning. But if you look at the daily time frame, this was our long signal yesterday. We had the stair stepping up above the zero line tickets indicator on the daily. We have a stair stepping up above the zero line on the hourly, and even on the 15-minute, we're above the zero line. So that's stacking odds. So we already got the story, the new CFO, Wall Street bets, 30% short float. We got a good hammer candle long signal post that EP event a few days before, and we have all of our technical indicators lined up. That's good. That's what we want to see. So when I look at now the overall market, I start to have to put everything together. And when we look at the QQQ and we look at the relative strength line, that's not that bad. When we look at the IWM relative strength line, this white line right here, the thick one, not that bad. But the index we want to see leading is the NASDAQ, obviously. That led on the way up. We want to see it to lead again before we re-engage this market with any kind of size. And right now, you can clearly see there's a series of lower highs and lower lows below a downtrending 21 EMA. So that's kind of an issue. Then when you look at the old leaders like AAOI, if we look at an arithmetic chart, doesn't it look like it's trying to roll over? Look at the relative strength line, already rolling over below the 21 EMA. Look at AEHR, rolling over below the 21 EMA. Your one leader in this sector, GLW, look at the shooting star reversal candle. Look at all the volume, the heavy volume during this breakout churn and then move lower today. Relative strength line doesn't look bad yet, but we have red BOP in this chart with that shooting star reversal, and that's starting to look weak. Now, when we look at stocks like DRAM, we're below the 21 EMA after a series of lower highs. When we went below the 21 EMA last time, we didn't have a series of lower highs leading into it. When I look at MU is below the 21 EMA for the first time since it started its run in April. So we're starting to see some weakness there. Then when we look at the neoclouds, NBIS, RIOT, HUT, look at the relative strength lines. We are breaking down. So we're seeing some weakness in the stocks that everybody loves and everybody is long. We're starting to see some weakness in these optics, memory, neocloud names. So all of this gives me a pause, especially whenever our current leadership is medical stocks, biotech stocks, small regional banks, and even banks are kind of joining the party now. So banks and medical stocks are leading, and that's not bad, but is there anything game changing about those stocks? Are those stocks going to carry us higher for a sustained period of time due to revolutionary products with a huge earnings growth and sales growth? No. So we have to take all that into consideration. So whenever I start adding all of this up, remember how we discussed sentiment last week? How the AAII survey flipped to extreme bullishness? The NAAIM hit 99% and we get warning signs at 100%? How the investors' intelligence bulls and bears both finally, they were kind of like, so the bulls were already high, but not extreme yet in the II survey. The bears were already low, but that finally widened further following last week. Now the new information is going to come out tomorrow. We'll see how we stand, but that then combined, charts I'm not showing, you can easily go to Google and look up barcharts.com, COT data, and type in any index. But if you look at the S&P 500, the ES, during this entire rally in the SPY, positioning has shown commercials long, large specs short. That didn't just flip last week, it flipped with high velocity last week. A major shift in large speculators going from short to long and commercials from going long to short. And there was an extreme cross, at least in the ES contract. So we got positioning, we got sentiment, our leaders are all starting to roll. That's enough to me. For the first time since April 8th, I've been operating under a green flag condition. Even during this sloppy consolidation, I've been a quote hopeful bull, hoping, wanting, wishing, not needing that, okay, hopefully these semiconductor stocks can recurl, break out, and the run can continue. I'm going from that and those green flag conditions. Following today's session, I'm raising the yellow flags. So it's not a red flag condition market. It's not a green flag condition market. It's currently a yellow flag condition market. Just to let you guys know, if you don't know, or if you have forgotten, I have forever holds that I'm going to hold for the rest of my life long. I have long-term portfolio, which is still 100% invested. I'm not doing any selling in that yet. Then I have swing position, tactical, and day trade accounts. So this flip from bull to yellow, they're green to yellow, I guess I should say, is basically on the swing position day trade account. So basically you want to focus on the day trade time frame right now, but the swing position side, we kind of want to back off. That being said, there does appear to be rotation out there. I got Hood looking like it's curling. I got Hims looking like it's curling. Melly looks like it's curling. Microsoft looks like it's curling. But that's a little bit different from like stocks off the lows like Oracle. Look at the distribution, look at the relative strength line, look at the red bop, look at the price and the volume. And then stuff like MSTR, which even though it does look like it's trying to curl, there's still a dilution machine, offering after offering after offering. Been telling you guys not to touch this stock since at least crypto, Bitcoin, since November. This stock since August. Have been telling you not to touch this stock. Look at it now. Also, we were being pumped to us this stock Circle lately, and I told everybody it's still a laggard. It's not a leader. I have no interest into it until it can become a leader. Look at it now rolling over. So I think that we have enough evidence to step back, but it's just because summertime, midterm elections are coming up. I'm not expecting a secular bear market. I'm bullish secular wise, which means I'm a bull till basically 2035, 2034 when demographics turn. I don't expect a cyclical bear market like we saw in 2022. I don't expect a cyclical bear market. Could I see this happening? Yes. Could I see this happening? Yes. This, yes. This even? Yes. This, yes. I could see all of that happening, but I don't see a cyclical or a secular bear market happening. I'm just expecting normal summertime seasonality to possibly take shift here since sentiment positioning is now showing that retail's offside and that we now have the memory, optics, and NeoCloud stocks all potentially rolling over. So I'm going to show you, like I said, we haven't been focused on those names recently. We're still trying them. I'll show you right now. SEMO, still long SEMO, trying SEMO. Flex, trying Flex, hasn't failed yet. And then the recent one, MXL, went long MXL. Didn't add it to this watch list, don't know why, but right here was the first long, second long signal, 1 hour risk unit, triggers the buy stop, and we're long. So these are still working out. However, stocks like GH, HNGE, where you see the white arrows, those have been the focus, the medical and regional bank names, because IWM is the leader. I only went long Wendy's because, and it was the only long signal yesterday. Remember, everybody, this was the only long signal because we had that nice chart along with everything else combined that allowed for that 8% gain today. And then we recently had an EP event, and here's just another lesson even for me. So BLZE had an EP event on this day right here whenever they shifted to AI. Got the delayed entry here, but there's no way I can load up on this. So it's a small position. It's a small trade. Then they had a real EP event here. But after day one of this real EP event, I'm looking for a delayed entry. I never got it. It just kept going. So here's going to be my whole point. What if I only focus on these names? The last two EP stocks since BLZE for me, real EPs, was FSLY back in February and AAOI back at the end of February. AAOI never gave me a good swing entry. FSLY pulled back to its 9 EMA and anchored VWAP and gave me a great entry that I was able to take a 2R trade on for that gain. Now, should I focused on FSLY and put all of my account capital with full buying power as a new long and foregone all these other signals? Yeah. And then should I probably have done nothing and just waited for BLZE? Yeah. But after day one, in a rip-roaring bull market where everything is lined up, I'm still buying it after this day. Instead, after this day, I went ahead and sold a little bit of the long position that I had after the first EP event, minor EP, catalyst event. Catalyst and EP that gets thrown around a lot. Real EPs is like BLZE, AAOI, and FSLY this year. Besides those three, there's been no real EP. Everything else is like an ER catalyst or a news catalyst event or whatever. But if I just would have put 200% of my account value after this day instead of taking some partial profits, what would I be up in the entire account in just 6 sessions? 80% using full buying power. So once again, focusing on the names that have everything going for it is where the real money is made. And it's still something I'm having difficulty with. But BLZEs are still out there. And basically, that's what I'll be looking for to take any size coming up. But following today's session, there are no new long positions. I flagged in NBR, which had an EP event back here or a catalyst event. Nice reversal, too big of a candle for me. Can't take it. NTAP is almost a grade A long signal. If the market was fine, if positioning was flipped, if sentiment was flipped, if I get this signal, I'm loading the boat in NTAP. Loading the boat. BOP is green again. Relative strength line back above the 21 EMA. A pocket pivot point signal and heavier above average volume. A nice hammer, but, well, it's what I wanted. I wanted a nice hammer off the 21 EMA. Instead, it's a doji candle. If this is a hammer, all in. All in NTAP. 96 composite rating. Number 7 industry group. That didn't happen. And then medical names. Oscar. Beautiful breakout. Bob's discount furniture store looking good. So, like I said, it's not all bad out there. I'm watching AFRM also curl and those big cap, mega caps I talked about. But if we're talking about the hot stocks right now, they are not in favor. If we're talking about making easy, no such thing, money in the market, it isn't right now. It's summertime. It's a midterm election year. We have to have our expectations properly aligned. So I'm going to need to see another EP event in the stock to take any size in any new long position, or I'm going to need to see a massive expectation breaker via some kind of bad news hits this market, but the market closes up on the day or possibly pulls a follow through day on a huge volume. That would change my opinion of what I believe is going to be a choppy summer. I welcome being proved wrong and have a game plan. And I'm ready for anything and everything. And if you don't approach the market that way, um, you're doing it wrong. And be worried about anybody that tells you they know exactly what the market's going to do next week, next month, or the next quarter. It's just not possible. We're just trying to take all the variables, put it into the equation, and get on the right side of the equation.